What's up, YouTube? Today I will share with you why I believe this is actually a great market to be buying. But of course, this will be a very debatable video, a very debatable topic, and if you have a different opinion, share with me on the comments. That being said, let me say another thing. If you can give a like to this video, I would appreciate quite a lot. I think a like is more than fair. If you can subscribe to the channel, that will be amazing. That being said, let's go into the disclaimer. Will be another short one. No financial advice. English is not my main language. Any types of mispronunciations, I'm sorry. So, since I do not like clickbait by any means, I will go direct into the topic. I'm buying a lot, and there is three reasons for that. First of all, you make your own choice, your own decisions. I will share with you why I've been buying more, but keep in mind I'm not trying to time the market. Most likely things can go down even more. Do I believe we are at the low of the low? Look, I cannot predict that. I believe the entry point is already very good in certain cards. Can those cards go down even more? Of course. But that's why I'm telling you that you make your own decisions. You should do your own research. That being said, three reasons that makes me a believer on this market that like I said, is a good time to buy. First, a lot of supply coming from PSA and BGS. In my view, this is an opportunity if you know what you are doing. A lot of people will overreact and panic, sell important cards in the hobby, in the soccer card market. Look, don't get me wrong. A lot of stuff is trash, but when people realize how much things are eating the market, even cards with great value, with great fundamentals, will face a correction. And for me, that's an opportunity. Second reason, I believe a lot in the World Cup effect, especially because it makes sense at the time PSA/BGS being more stable. It's crucial to have a cash flow on the hobby, and people grading in lower costs creates that. Now I know there will be a smart Andy on the comment telling me this. Yeah, but the Euro Cup, zero effect on the market, and I actually predicted that, so you need to do your own research a little bit better. What I said at the time, and actually there is a couple of people quoting me on that nowadays, I said, look, the state of the market is more important than the competition. And at that point, the state of the market was facing a crazy correction. So I was like, you know what, I'm not seeing the Euro having a great impact on the market. And apart from that, World Cup is quite a bigger event than the Euro, especially for the American market. So there is a lot of reasons. This is a complex equation, but I'm trying my best to explain you my reasons. And like I said, at that time, and I could be wrong on this again, but at that time, 1 year from now, a little bit more, I would say, I suspect PSA and BGS probably already have different service open. I hope the regular service on PSA or even the bulk service on BGS PSA will be already available, and there is a scenario that could be reality. To be fair, I think people are actually overreacting, saying that bulk is never coming back. I don't believe in that. That will be stupid from those companies to not take that money, but 1 year from now that could be a reality in my perspective. And one of the reasons I believe the hobby is quite down right now is basically that. Look, people, at least I know, and you guys probably are, you guys probably understand what I'm saying. I know a lot of people that, look, the way they end up buying cars was quite simple. They buy a card, they grade the card, they sell the card, and they keep this cash flow going on, you know what I mean? And this puts a lot of money into the hobby. This creates a cash flow that is very important. And right now there is a weird pressure between PSA, BGS, and the market, because look, they are putting a lot of cards into the market, but they are not accepting cards. I know, with exceptions for high-end cards or mid-end cards. But that being said, this creates a weird pressure on the market. 1 year from now, I believe things could be different, and that's, for me, makes me a believer on the market. Even if you don't want to go long term, I put long term more than 5 years. Even if you want to go mid term, will be 1-2 years. I believe you have an opportunity on that front. Reason number 3, a lot of cards in soccer are going back to prices before the boom in February, and that makes zero sense for me. Sure, the market was crazy, and the all-time highs at that time maybe not justifiable for certain cards. There is exception, there is outliers, but in the end, but in the other hand, I'm sorry, the boom, even if overshooting, which I tend to agree, showed that certain items being undervalued at the time. Now, if they are going back to those prices before the boom, makes me believe there is an opportunity. I know you guys want an example. One example for me could be the Lionel Messi rookie market. I think the correction is taking a little bit too long. I believe those cards present great value right now on the market. Could I be wrong? Of course. Keep one thing in mind. Predicting the market is almost, I would say impossible, to be fair. I would say almost for some reason, but is impossible. If you tell me, look, 1 year from now, Messi markets are even down, I would say, I was not expecting that, I'm going to be honest, but that's a scenario I can understand. That being said, let's move on into a different slide, because I ended up choosing 5 cards. I actually shared this yesterday on my Patreon community, so if you guys are not members of my Patreon community, you guys are actually leaving a lot of great content, missing a lot of great content, but you do you. If you don't want to support me on Patreon, no problem at all. You should always expect free content on YouTube. That being said, there is a link on the description if you want to join my Patreon. So I shared this yesterday on my Patreon channel, and I said, look, those are 5 cards that I have 5 different perspectives. So instead of telling you, because I'm saying I'm buying more, but I know, and let's be real, you guys want to know what I'm buying. And if you pay attention to my social media, you probably know what I'm buying. That being said, instead of basically giving you the fish, I will tell you how to catch the fish. So in this case, I end up choosing 5 cards. I'm not investing on those cards in particular, but I think putting 5 perspectives is quite important. So the first card, and this one, to be fair, I'm buying because I already made a video about this, the 2006 Panini World Cup Lionel Messi card, one of the most beautiful cards for Lionel Messi. I think this set in particular, but especially Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, are a great opportunity right now. The reason is quite obvious. You guys remember 1 year ago, 2 years ago, those cards are very cheap. The reason they end up exploding is people realize this is actually a great set. This is actually the first card for Lionel Messi with Argentina. Same with Cristiano Ronaldo with Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo a little bit different because Cristiano Ronaldo have product for 2004, but for the World Cup, this is, I would say, the first premium card even for Cristiano Ronaldo. And those cards end up exploding on the market. I believe at one point in time, I could be wrong, I'm talking from the top of my head, this card in a PSA 10 was selling around 30k, which I thought was a little bit too much. Right now, like I said, people end up not understanding the pops for those cards because they saw, look, this is such a low pop, but what they did not realize was that there was, at that time, was a lot of sealed product on the market for this specific set, and people start opening the sealed product, and right now the pop end up going quite up. That being said, I still believe it's a low pop for a card like this, but the market, like I said, end up overreacting. Right now those cards are selling, I would say, at all-time lows if you don't count the boom, basically. So for me, it makes a lot of sense to invest in a card like this. Apart from that, this is a great example why I believe in the World Cup. This is being the first Argentina card for Lionel Messi, and eventually, or at least most likely, Lionel Messi will play the last. Will eventually, I believe. I'm not sure if there is confirmation on this or not, but I believe will be the last World Cup for Lionel Messi. This for me is a great time to pick up this card. Look, I love cards. For me, the only the long run makes sense. You need to adapt if you want to go mid-term, short-term. I believe there is opportunities for everyone, and this card is actually a great example. Look, I bought a couple of those cards already. I'm not sure if with the World Cup coming, let's say 1 month before the World Cup starts, if I see these cards going for crazy amounts of money, there is a chance I sell mine, okay? I'm not even trying to lie to you. No, I will hold this in the long run. I'm not sure. It's all about opportunity. It's all about what the market is doing at that time. Even if the market do not react very well with the World Cup, this is a great card to own in the long run, in my perspective. So for me, again, I don't like the word the safe a safe play. But for me, this goes in. I'm sorry, I'm not touching the mic. But this goes into a category that I'm comfortable holding in the long run. So the another example is Cristiano Ronaldo sticker 2006 World Cup, and you can say yes, but that's actually a very iconic stick for Cristiano Ronaldo. Why you think he's dangerous? The reason I think he's dangerous is quite simple. I believe the pop for this sticker is actually lower than the pop for this card for Lionel Messi, and you can apply the same logic for the card for Cristiano Ronaldo. And I don't agree with that because I know those stickers are quite more easy to find than those cards. The reason for the cards being more graded is they are a better product basically. So Americans end up realizing those cards should be graded because they will get it a lot of attention. But in the last couple of months, there is a couple of sales for those stickers at very good prices. So I suspect more people are sending those into PSA. So this is the type of sticker. Not the first time I'm talking about this. If I saw the pop going 2x, 3x, 4x, I will not be surprised at all because I know how overproduced those stickers are, how common those stickers are to find on the market. Go to eBay and try to search those raw, and you'll see how easy it is to find the 2006 Panini World Cup stickers. So I will say dangerous, but I'm not totally opposite at buying those. It will depend how the correction will be done. It will depend, especially for higher grades, because stickers. One thing to keep in mind is shirt stickers are very easy to find, but when you start talking about PSA 9s, PSA 10s, those are not that easy. Okay, so this is, again, like I said, a very difficult equation. So for me, it's quite clear that the 2006 cards are an opportunity. The stickers ones, I'm a little bit more careful. I believe there is a lot of dangers on those, but I'm still keeping my eye. A potential opportunity for me could be the 2006 Monochrome Lionel Messi second year card. Look, you guys probably remember at this point, at one point in time, Goldin sold a PSA 10 for 16k, which I thought was a crazy sale at the time, but Goldin ended up promoting that. I'm not so sure, but I thought was PSA 1, Pop 1, I'm sorry, or Pop 2 or something like that. And you guys know Goldin sales are always a little bit crazy, and people that end up investing on that card most likely thought they are buying a crazy rare card. The reason that card was only Pop 1 or Pop 2 at the PSA 10 was quite simple. People are not grading those. Right now, I know second year cards are getting a lot of attention. That's why I'm saying this could be a potential opportunity if the market, like I said, overcorrects something that this is actually a great card. Maybe not for the price that PSA 10 sold at the time, but in general, this is a very important card for Lionel Messi. So I'm not sure if this is an opportunity right now, but I'm paying attention. Another sticker that is quite popular on the hobby is the 2019 Panini Haaland Football Rookie. This, I would be honest, I believe is the best rookie for Haaland. The reason is a licensed product for the league. I will make a video one day on this, but let's say, and you guys agree with me, this is a very popular sticker for Haaland, one of the most popular rookies for Haaland, and at one point in time, a PSA 10 was selling around 11k. Same logic with the Messi, to be fair, I thought that was completely crazy, made no sense, but Americans do not understand the soccer market. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but the reality is Americans look at the pops and they think the pops are real. I've been seeing this mistake over and over. People need to understand a lot of soccer are getting graded right now. Even cards that was Pop 1, if that card 1 year from now is 1k, I will not be totally shocked, because this is the reality of the soccer card market. That's why understanding rarity is so difficult. That being said, if this card was selling for 11k not that long time ago, right now I believe sells around 1k, 2k or 3k. It does not matter. You can see it's still a big correction. So this is an opportunity in higher graded. If I thought 10k, 11k for this card in a PSA 10 was bananas. Right now, if I can find one, let's say, I know it's difficult, for 1k in a PSA 10, maybe I will actually buy one. I'm not saying that I will do that for sure. What I'm trying to say is, in high graded, I still believe this sticker will be not that easy to find. When I'm saying high graded, I'm talking more about PSA 10 for this particular one. So things I would stay away. End up choosing the optic card for Sancho, but I could choose different cards. This is one of the most graded cards in soccer, and in general, this is no big news, but in general, base stuff, I don't think you guys should be investing. Maybe in the future, if there is a crazy correction that makes no sense on those cards, let's say those cards start selling for $10 even graded, of course that will be a different scenario. But right now I would stay away from base stuff. I think those sets are there is still a lot of product. I still find a lot of product for optic on the market, and you can apply the same logic for Prism, Select, etc. All of those ultra modern sets, you need to be careful. Look, that's not my market, but if I had to give you an advice, and I know people may be shocked with that, I would say stay with colors, stay with numbered stuff, because base stuff, look, I actually believe was never meant to be graded. So there is a weird pressure almost with this type of situation, because people can only afford base stuff, but the reality is base stuff is probably not something you guys should even be trying to grade. So that being said, there is opportunity in a lot of cards, so pay attention. And I'm putting 5 cards with 5 perspectives, but you can change all of those 5 cards for another cards, and that will be great. So moving on. This is something that my viewers know at this point, but sometimes I got new viewers on my channel, and I still need to say some things like this: buy the card, not the grading company. So we are seeing two cards for Bobby Charlton, rookie cards for Bobby Charlton. This card is one of the most popular cards in the vintage community, in the vintage market. I believe this card is beautiful, remembers me a lot, and this again, a lot of people are talking about this, but remembers me a lot the 52 mantle, and this card actually is selling for very good amounts of money nowadays. I believe this card is actually facing I would not say a bull run, because maybe that's a strong concept, but this card is performing very well on the market. So let's take a look at two sales very recently. I would say a PSA 6 for this card sold for 1.7k, and a SGC 5, I'm sorry, sold for $500. Look, full disclosure, the SGC 5 is mine. I bought that, but I was tracking both of those cards, and you can see, and you are not blind, I suspect. If you are, I'm sorry, but you are not blind, I suspect. So you can see this card in terms of centering looks way worse than this one. And look, I know I need to show you the back, I know you need high resolutions, but if you want to trust in me, and I think you should, I know the SGC 5 is in better condition than the PSA 6, because I actually was tracking both cards. I was not sure what card should I buy. Things became way more clear when I saw the PSA 6 going for 1.7k, when I knew a seller would sell me the SCC 5 for quite less money, and was a better card. So in terms of eye appealing, I don't think it's even debatable. Look, you can see there is actually even the cut on the card is not even perfect on this one, is amazing on this one, but this is a good example to think about, okay? Because look at the difference on the prices and when you compare cards, actually the 5 looks better than the 6. I will say this, there is a great chance I actually will crack the SGC 5, but I'm not sure for one reason. The card looks so amazing on a SGC slab, but I actually believe this card will grade higher on PSA. In my experience, SEC is even tougher than PSA. I'm not sure about the 10s, to be fair. I know 10s on PSA are quite difficult, but when we start talking about lower grades, I tend to find SEC way more difficult to grade. So there is a scenario I crack this just to prove a point. Who knows? I will think about that. Look, and to finish this, I understand if you want to grade with PSA, but not buying other slabs is just leaving money on the table. I think this is quite logical. Look, if you really believe the 1.7k for a card in worse shape was a better buy than what I paid for this one, I'm sorry, you are probably getting caught into the eye of the PSA bubble, to be fair, but you do you. I'm just sharing my perspective, and I believe you are losing a lot of money if you are approaching the market that way. So very basic, but remember this: markets are irrational. This will be the last example of the day. This card, one of the most beautiful cards for Lionel Messi, the Messi 35 Panini Barça Campion. There is two versions, the Catalan version and the Spanish version. The Catalan version is quite more rare in my perspective. I will make a video about that, but since you guys are watching the video for so long, I will tell you the reason. The Spanish version, and a lot of people do not know this, was released in Mexico, and actually in the last couple of days, a lot of people told me not only in Mexico, even in Chile. That I cannot confirm you for sure, but in Mexico I'm very comfortable to say that's a fact. So this card was the Spanish version is quite more easy to find, is quite more popular. The Catalan version was only released in Catalonia, the Barcelona region, so that's why the Catalan version is quite more rare. The market for a long time did not know this. A lot of influencers was saying that was not reality when I was saying yes, this card is more rare. Right now, a lot of people are giving me props because I was correct on this, but I have very new information on this front that I will make a video soon. PSA probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but guess what? I'm not telling them. So when this card was selling, I will tell you guys first. When this card was selling at time highs, I believe was more than 60k, I'm sorry. A lot of people was trying to buy this card. I sold a couple of mines at that point because look, it's not that I'm a genius, but I've been on this market for a very long time. You guys know I have a background on TCGs, and I've been doing this for more than 10 years, for more than 15 years, okay? When the market are at the all-time highs, it's a good time to sell. I know this is so basic, but look, psychology is something that people need to study more on this type of markets. There is almost a toxic positivity when markets are going up, okay? Because people cannot see the other side. I remember at the time the narrative people were selling, and guys, I'm not lying to you. I remember seeing people on Instagram saying, yeah, that card in a PSA 10 one day will be $1 million. I was like, what? I mean, right now that price seems quite a lot. Our market is still quite small. Can that card one day be $1 million? Look, I doubt, but who knows? Of course, there is a scenario on that, but you need to play with some type of odds, okay? You need to be a reasonable person. But when things are going up, people tend to not think about the bad scenario. They just see the positive things. But guess what? The same thing ends up happening when markets are going down. I have been talking with a lot of collectors lately, and I talk about this card, about the Messi rookie material in general, and I know even collectors that I respect, they are saying, no, those cards, I regret investing on those cards. The population is actually the pop is too high. First of all, that's a lie. No, it's not. It's still quite low when you put in perspective the demand / potential demand that card can actually have in the future. And they have right now. I believe there is a lot of people trying to acquire those cards. They are actually taking advantage of people that are overreacting. The total pop for Campion, the Catalan version, and that's the version you guys should focus. Look, if you guys want to go for the Spanish version, I believe there is an opportunity on that, but on the Catalan version, even bigger opportunity. Because sooner or later, the market will realize the Catalan version is quite more difficult to find. So the pop total for the Campion, I'm not talking about PSA 10s, guys. Pop total is 227. So you can understand, this is still a very difficult card to find, especially talking about the Campion. Right now, like I said, correction / crash is quite evident. This card sells around, I would say 20k, sometimes less. I'm a buyer right now, not at the PSA 10 to be fair, because I still think the premium for the PSA 10 is a little bit too high, but I've been buying lower grades, PSA 6, PSA 5, sometimes a PSA 7, sometimes a PSA 9. I know PSA 9, PSA 7 are not, at least I do not consider those lower grades, but you guys get the point. Right now, I'm a buyer. When the market is toxic, is negative about this card, I believe that's a good sign for the card. I'm a buyer right now. The card have the same value, just different price, and this is something people do not understand. And look, this is so basic, but people do the mistake over and over. And if you learn this, I guess, in my perspective, can change your life forever. Actually, look. When think about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is a very popular thing right now. When Bitcoin is at all-time highs, everyone wants to buy Bitcoin. When Bitcoin crashes, no one wants to buy Bitcoin because the narrative changes. People say, oh, Bitcoin was a scam, this is at 20K right now, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Never made sense to be at 60K. Right now the narrative is different. I believe Bitcoin is doing very well. And people are saying, no, blockchain, we need the blockchain, we need Bitcoin. But the people that are saying this are the same people that sold when the market crashed. So be careful with that. Understand narratives. Understand that markets are irrational. Even people that are in the lobby for a long time, I see those guys making a lot of mistakes. Nowadays, a lot of people are trying to invest in rare cards in the vintage/pre-modern, sometimes from players without any type of relevance, just because they are rare. Huge mistake in my book. This is a mistake I've been seeing more and more and more. Well, the thing is, when I say they are doing a mistake, they will tell me, nah, I'm a collector. Okay, but I mean, what can I say? Yes, if you're a collector, I guess that's fine. But my channel is not only for collectors, it's also for investors. So do not buy a card just because the card is rare. I ended up talking about this not that long time ago. A rare card, a card being rare is a great thing, no doubt about that. It's one of the fundamentals I believe is important to look when investing in a card. But rarity does not mean investment, okay? Rarity does not mean a great buy. Very far from that. There is a lot of things that you need to pay attention. Look, I know you guys want me to talk about the PSA situation with the Neymar and the Beckham card, and that will be a video alone. I'm not sure when, because I'm doing a lot of investigation on that front. But that's an example why, yes, maybe that card from Panini Football, which was not the case for Neymar, or even Card Mania, which is still a gradable card, which I think one day will be out of the pop report, but that will be a different story. Even that card, you can make an argument, maybe that card is more rare than the Abril gold cards for Neymar. But that does not mean that card is a better product. By far from that. That's from a shady set. That's from a set without any type of license. Abril gold cards, as far as I'm aware, they have licenses. So there is a lot of things to consider. Do not buy cards just because they are rare. Look at all the fundamentals. Think if the player is actually an important player, is actually a player with a lot of demand. Do not try to follow other people, even if they have more experience than you, because those guys will be wrong a lot of times. And look, I could be wrong on my take right now. Yes. But at least I'm sharing with you my perspective. So, to finish this, guys, you guys probably should know at this point, collect things you love, price is what you pay, value is what you get. I'm buying a lot of stuff right now on the market. I believe it's a good time. Of course, I'm being very selective with cards that I'm buying, and you should do the same if you want to buy. If you still believe the market will keep crashing for the next 12 months or 6 months, you do you. You could be correct on that. Personally, I believe this is a great time to buy, and who knows, maybe 6 months from now I will make an update on this video, and I could be wrong, I could be correct also. So have a nice day, give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel, see you guys tomorrow, bye. Another thing, if you guys want to join the Patreon, there is a link on the description, and if you guys, and this is even, I would say more important, want to join the Discord community, there is a link below the video also. Check both links and see you guys tomorrow, bye.